Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. वसुदेव वसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Hari Om. In previous lecture we started Bhagavad Gita, and we are looking at Bhagavad Gita strictly from the standpoint of our own sadhana, how to integrate this teaching of Bhagavan Krishna in our living. We saw the first shloka, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamakav Pandavaschaiva Kim Kurvata Sanjaya. The last shloka of Bhagavad Gita is Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Mama. The last word is mama. And the first word over here is dharma. So, mama dharma. The whole Bhagavad Gita boils down to what is my dharma. So, this Bhagavad Gita is a beautiful work of inspiration to take us on to this beautiful path of sadhana, which results in moksha, which results in our own realization of our own divine self, which is absolute awareness consciousness, which is my nature. Dhritarashtra speaks this first shloka. We saw at great length. Dharma Kshetre assembled on this battlefield known as Kurukshetra. Externally, the entire battlefield, and interestingly, it is named after the lineage that they descend from, Kuru. In the same way, we have to live our life also on this external battlefield of life, the family in which we have taken birth, the city in which we live, the state, the nation that we dwell in. All of these things are our own battleground, and that is assimilated on the inside. I call the internal world is where we have this dharma sankat. A lot of people use this colloquial phrase स्वामी जी थोड़ा धर्म संकट हो गया है, meaning that there is some internal deliberation where we don't know whether to go this route or to go this route. But externally, the world is there. So the external world has to be treaded with the internal world calibrated to a particular thought pattern or an idea. So Bhagavan Krishna's sole job in this entire Bhagavad Gita is to calibrate Arjuna's internal compass. And the calibration that Bhagavan Krishna does is, number one, you accept the responsibility that you have in your life, accept it, work with it, and work with it on the premise of what is right. And that is called dharma. So that's why a lot of people use this word dharma sankat. It is the internal rich field that allows us to pick the right thought. And when the thought is appropriate, the internal intellect picks the right type of understanding, produces a prama, a vritti, a thought, and that vritti is passed on to the mind, and the mind is also trained and disciplined enough to follow the vrittis of the intellect. Such a trained, disciplined mind on the very fields of dharma, that also Bhagavan Krishna very beautifully explains in chapters 3, 4 and 5 how to discipline this mind utilizing the entire premise of karma yoga. And then when the action is unleashed at the level of the body, the action is in the outside world, what is known over here in this shloka as Kurukshetra. So in this battlefield, people have assembled Samaveta Yuyutsavaha, desirous of war, because they have to settle the claims that both parties have on the kingdom. So that is what is being settled on the outside. So one is convinced that I'm right, the other one is convinced I'm right. So both of their internal world are convinced that they are right, and they both feel that they're cheated off. So Bhagavan is on the side of Pandavas, and systematically we will see Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti Dhruva Nitir Matir Mamaha. The last shloka of Bhagavad Gita summarizes where Bhagavan Krishna is and where Pandava is Dhanurdara. Dhanurdara, where he is holding the bow and arrow of righteousness. So where dharma is, there is where Bhagavan, along with his consort Shri Devi. So not just money, these are all types of wealth. Ashtada Lakshmi of this Ashtada Prakriti. Ashtalakshmi in this eightfold form of creation, she arrives. Dhruva Niti, and the Niti, the thought process of the intellect, firm. Mati iti mamaha. Bhagavan says that this is Sanjay, where Arjuna is righteous, there Krishna is. And where Krishna is, that is where all types of wealth is. So now they have all assembled. Mamaka Pandavayaschaiva Kim Kurvata Sanjaya. What did they do? We will continue. Sanjaya Uvacha Društva tu Pandava Nikam Vyudham Duryodhanastata Acharyamupasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. So, Društva tu Pandavanikam Vyudham Duryodhanastada Acharyamupasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. So, Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjay speaks. few places in Bhagavad Gita, Sanjay speaks, and I had talked about who Sanjay is. He may be a low-born in terms of a servant for the Kshatriya, but in Bhagya, he is much ahead than all of them. And his name itself talks about it. The gatekeepers of heaven, none other than Jaya and Vijay. And we have Jaya, Vijaya, and then we have over here this Sanjaya, Samyak Jai. So the one who is victorious because he has blessings. What blessings does he have? His blessings of the right thought process. Even though he surrendered to a blind king, physically, mentally, thought process is not proper, yet he adheres to his righteousness. Even though his Sangha is not appropriate, yet outside Sangha cannot do anything to the internal kingdom because he's rooted in Vijayata, in complete victory, Samyak Jai. So Sujay is there, Sanjay is there, Jaya, Vijaya, Sujaya, Sanjaya. So that Dhruti, which is so firm, itself declares victory. Whether an event happens or not, is victorious by the virtue of having the right thought. That is Sanjay. Now, that Sanjay, look at his Bhagya. Vedvyas Maharshi Ji comes and he is willing to give the Divya Chakshu to Dhritarashtra, who says, just give it to Sanjay, he will tell me. This is called Bhagya. That's why he is called Sanjay. So, Vyasa Maharshi Ji gives this Dirgha Drashti where he is capable of seeing, and like I said, he will do darshan of Bhagavan with this beautiful Divya Chakshu. So, he's saying, Duryodhana tada Pandavanikam društva vyudham društva Raja Duryodhana Acharyam upasangamya. He approached his Acharya and Ihavachana Abravit. These words he spoke. So, Duryodhan. So, we have Pandavas and Kauravas, and the leader of Kauravas is Duryodhan. So, Sanjay is now reporting, and Sanjay is telling to none other than Dhritarashtra seated over there in the palace and what's going on in the battlefield, that Duryodhan then Vyudham, all of these people arranged in this massive army, Pandavanikam, the army of Pandavas, Društva, having seen, and over here, Vedvyas Maharshi Ji, through the mouth of Sanjay, uses this word, Raja. In first line, he has referred to Duryodhan as Duryodhan. Second line, he is now referring to Duryodhan as Raja. And Sanjay should address him as Duryodhan, because he's speaking to the actual king. The actual king is Dhritarashtra. But over here, he's implying that you are just the namesake king. You are physically blind. You are mentally blind. This son of yours, because of your love, blind love for your child is overruling you. You may be sitting on the throne, but the strings are pulled by your son, Raja. He is addressing Duryodhana as king, and Duryodhana is a crowned prince. He's not a crowned king. So, Raja Vachanam Abravit. That king said these words. So, what is the sadhana for us? In this shloka, the sadhana is whatever words we utter, whatever actions we do, the world is watching. And especially silently, wise people's drashti is on us. Sanjay is been with Dhritarashtra all this time, and he has summarized in this one appropriate use of word that your son he is referring to actually as king. Whatever we say and do, people are watching us. We have to be utmost aware and be in presence when we live our life. We think our actions are not noticed. There are so many people who observe us. They register it. They may not speak to us, but they have made an impression in their mind about us. And you know, the impressions which is made in their mind about us, it is a live energy which affects us, and especially men of wisdom, men of knowledge. Their thoughts become our blessings. And if appropriate words are not used towards us and sarcastically comments are made, we will be on the losing end. The whole world is a beautiful intertwining confluence of so many energies. And if one energy is not playing right, if an appropriate blessing doesn't arrive at the right time, at the right place, we lose out in our growth. Sanjay sarcastically is talking about Dhritarashtra, about Duryodhan. He is loyal servant of Dhritarashtra, so his blessings should be with Dhritarashtra. But with these words being uttered like that, mentally he has decided who he is going to bless. Even though if he comes and says, Namaste, please bless me. No, okay, yeah. May the right thing happen. Very general statement will be spoken, but true blessings from the heart will never arrive. This is a big sadhana. We should speak less, come in contact with as few people as possible. That's why rishis used to leave their home, go in a solitude and remain. And they will sit underneath a tree on the banks of a river, by a mountain, and they will seek blessings from the mountain, the tree, and the river. They will not pollute the river. As much they want, they will take from the river. The same tree they're sitting underneath, they will take care of it. They will pour some water. All Sandhya Vandanam water will be poured over there with all different, charged with mantras. Beautiful tarpanam of all the planets and everything. And the tree will get that energy and the tree will end up blessing. These are unspoken blessings. We cannot even fathom what is happening around us. We are not living in a dead world. It's an alive world. and thus few people they are in contact with. In our life also, unnecessarily we speak in a party with 20 people, 20 energies we have shaken up. And God knows what words we have uttered. And these words will create impressions. And these impressions will create all types of thought patterns which will be released as energies. This is a very subtle science. In these words which are uttered, please don't think it is a slip of a word or Vedvyas Maharshi ji has just put it over here. It is for us to absorb these things. How to put it? How to put our achar, vichar into practice. Our conduct, our thoughts, our behavior, all this is being noticed by the universe. Even the computer can end up blessing us. If we shower profanity at the computer for not starting properly or not quickly updating the updates or whatever it is, some virus from somewhere will come. Not only we are affected by a virus, even this thing can be affected by virus. The strongest bond in chemistry is a tetrahedron bond, and that too of a silicon, the strongest substance. And with various information, we are shaking that bond. We are vibrating it. Those vibrations in a very stable substance is creating an apparent movement of color and form and of sound which is being transmitted. The engineering behind it we may understand, but the spirituality behind the engineering, how many of us understand? Even the hydrogen bonding, covalent bonding, the weak bonds, the strong bonds, even they can bless us. It will break apart in the right time, and then we will be lost out of satsang. Matter also, what appears dead is not that dead. I'm sitting over here and talking to some camera, and you on the other end, in whatever part of the world you are watching and making sense of it. This is not some dead waves which are released. So this world is a confluence of so many subtle energies, and they are creating in time and place a bhagya, and we are the ones who dwell in that time and space, who are the partakers of the bhagya. But if we have not appropriately behaved in that time and space, the time and space cannot do much. Thus, dharma has to be thought of at so many different levels. So many different levels. How we treat a live person, how we treat matter, books and computers and technology, the home, the garden, the environment, the people, the animals, the birds. In that one word, Raja Vachanam Abravit, I'm just giving you some food for thought, that why did Vedyas Maharshiji said this? Very, very important. So, some food for thought. Think about it on these lines and put the camera on your own life, your own behavior, our own behavior, with our own material world around us. Will it bless us? Is our conduct appropriate that our teachers, our well-wishers, will they truly bless us? The ones who are around us. Here Sanjay is there all the time in Hastinapur. Pandavas were in forest for so many years. And before that they were in Indraprastha. Rarely Sanjay sees Pandavas, but his heart is with Pandavas. His blessings are with Pandavas. That is Raja Vachanam Abravit. So many things are there. What did this Raja, quote unquote Raja, what did Duryodhan say? And to whom did he say? Acharya Upasangamya. Acharya, his own guru, his own teacher, and his own teacher, none other than Dronacharya. Pashyetam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupadaputrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. Over here he's saying, Hey Acharya, Etam Pashya. Oh teacher, see. Is this how you address your teacher? As though the teacher is blind. The one who's blind is his father. And he's telling his own guru, see all of them. As though the guru cannot see. But there is a respectful way of approaching a guru and speaking. Pashyetam. See them. So, behold, see all of them. Who? Panduputranam Mahatim Chamum. The children of Pandu. As though he needs to be reminded who they are, Panduputranam Mahatim Chamum. Great army they have assembled over here. Vyudham. They have arrayed. They are all arranged. The array of army right over here. Pashyetam. And of all, Tava Shishyena Drupadaputrena Dhimata. Dhimata, a wise, great one. In all these who have assembled to fight, Panduputra and Pandu Putra, they have elected Drupada Putra, Drushtadumna. Draupadi's father, Drupad, he had done a fire ritual and he had invoked from that fire Draupadi. She's born out of a yajna. She's also known as Yagni, born out of a yajna. That Draupadi, along with her, came from the fire, her own brother born out of fire. He's also not an ordinary one, Drishtadyumna. And it is said that yajna was done by Drupad with a desire. And the desire was to destroy Dronacharya. And that Drishtadyumna, born from that fire, whose very invocation was the destruction of uh, Dronacharya. He goes to that Dronacharya to learn archery. He learns from a guru whom he has taken birth to destroy. And all this, Duryodhana is reminding his own guru. Is this appropriate? As though, this great guru, Dronacharya, did not know all these things. First of all, Pashyetam, as if he cannot see. He's understood. Not only that, but he was one of the gurus who even tells Duryodhana to give up war. And he doesn't give up war. He doesn't want to settle. Even when last minute Bhagavan Krishna comes to Hastinapur as a last refuge to come to some type of an agreement where they would not have to take a step towards a war. He came over there to reconcile. It didn't work. And it was Dronacharya who told Duryodhana, think. He didn't. And then demanding that they fight for him. And he decided to stay on the side of Kauravas, Kripacharya, Dronacharya, Bhishma Mahapita, all of them. As though, he's thinking that they are all there for his sake. They have allegiance to a great lineage. He may be a rotten one offspring, but they understand the glory of the Kuru Vamsha and what the Vamsha has done for them, how they have been taken care of. The Brahmanas, they live in the forest, they do their Yagna Yagadi Karma, but they are only successful in Yagna Yagadi Karma because the land is ruled by a righteous, noble king. And if the king is there, who is a righteous king, then in that righteousness, they can succeed in their sadhana. And for that, all that understanding is now coming over here. And Dronacharya, he has to go ahead and side with all of them. Even though in his heart, the heart, blessings of the heart belong to Pandavas. So, the language that he uses, see, we have to be so aware. How do we behave? How do we speak? Not just with our gurus, but with people around us. Our conduct is very important. Tava shishyena dhimade. He's your shishya. I mean, the teacher knows who their shishya is. So, the language itself over here, what kind of language has been used to address? Continuing, Atra Shura Maheshvasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yuyudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha. He's now describing who all are these people. So first of all, you see the Drishtadyumna. He has been invoked from the fire to bring an end to you. See him first. What kind of thought process is that of Duryodhana? That's why it's called Duryodhan. Dhan is Dur, wealth. And what is the first wealth? Thought. ugly thoughts, childhood onwards, terrible thoughts. External wealth may be there, but it's a bankruptcy in the court of intellect. So, Duryodhan and all of them, one by Dur, Dushasan, the one whose Anushasanam is inappropriate, the one who drags Draupadi, disrobes in the entire court of Kuru dynasty. So names also say so much. Nam and Nami, the name and the named, there is a connection over there. So when our words carry meaning. They carry direct meaning, implied meaning, subtle meanings. So over here, now he's saying, now see further. Atra Shura, here great heroes have assembled. Bhima Arjuna Samayudhihi. In this yudhi, in this battle, Bhima Arjuna Saman, the mighty strength of Bhima and the dexterity of Arjuna in all types of martial arts, in all types of warfare. These are not ordinary heroes assembled over here. Bhima Arjuna Samayudhihi, Yuyudhana, none other than Bhagavan Krishna's charioteer. Bhagavan himself left all his, he says, I'm not going to have any weapons, I'm not going to have my entire army. He made a promise that he would give it to Duryodhan, all those things. So, who are all these people who are assembled? You watch all of these things. Yuyudhana, Viratascha, Virat, the king of Kashi. Sorry, not the king of Kashi, the king of Matsya, where the Pandavas lived incognito for that 1 year. So, that the king of Virat, he's there. Drupadascha Maharathaha. And Drupad, none other than Drishtadyumna's father, Draupadi's father, of course, and the Pandava's father-in-law. He's not ordinary. He's a Kshatriya and at the same time has enough power to invoke from fire Draupadi and Drishtadyumna. He had assembled 2 great Brahmanas to do this yajna for him. And they were able to do it. So that Drupad, Maharathaha, these are great warriors. And Ratha, Maharatha, all these different, it's like they are capable of handling so many horses led infantry, elephants led, people army led. All those things are there. I'm not going to go into detail, otherwise it will just go on and on and on. So great warriors, they have all assembled over here. We will continue in the next class the army which is assembled over here. It is just naming some of them and seeing the importance behind them, arranged over there in this epic of Mahabharata. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi